Our next guest says, when ordinary is just not enough, try extraordinary. But for many, when it comes to sustainable success and overall confidence, that's easier said than done, right? Well, Dr. Gary Josephson has developed 7 key principles to help with just that in his book, Ordinary to Extraordinary, 7 Principles for Life Success. So welcome to First Coast Living.
Well, thank you for having me. This is really wonderful, so I appreciate you.
Yes, congratulations on everything so far.
Thank you.
Let's talk about what inspired, because this is a self-help book, so what inspired you to write this?
So back in 2015, I was asked to be the commencement speaker for my undergraduate university. And when I got the call, I basically said no. I said, why me? And they said, well, we like to invite graduates who can inspire people and who have done great things in their life. And so I was humbled, but said, yes, of course, I would do that for this graduating class. And I was creating my speech, and I had a lot of notes, but I had no speech. And so my wife said to me, she said, why don't you talk about your 7 principles, something that I've created from many, many years back. And I said, what a great idea. So I created the speech based on my 7 principles, and I gave the commencement speech, and it went over very, very well. And a number of people came up to me and said they wanted to know more about my principles. So when I came home, I told my wife, I said, I think I need to write a book. And she goes, oh, here's his next project. And so I sat down and started writing.
Wonderful. And it took 6 years, right?
It took 6 years because I didn't want it to be an autobiography. I really wanted it to be a self-help book. So I did a lot of research and found things in other people's lives that exhibited these principles.
So let's talk about those principles. What exactly are they? And is there a list of importance, you know, priority top to bottom? Tell us about it.
Terrific. So first let me tell you about the principles. So the principles are, number 1 is attitude, attitude, attitude. And I'm not going to delve into it because people can go ahead and read the book or look up on the line about different things to go ahead and get evidence about why principles work like this. But the first one's attitude, attitude, attitude. And I talk about your psyche, I talk about emotional intelligence, I talk about communication. These are all important things to having a good attitude as well as being an optimist or optimism, because people like to be around positive people.
I try to be that way.
Absolutely, absolutely. The second principle is called knowledge and wisdom, because I think you need to know more than you need to know. You need to keep on learning and building, and learning should be enjoyable and should be lifelong. Yes. Okay. Third principle is relationships and community. And I always say the single most important decision you'll ever make in your life is the person you decide to partner with, whether it's your spouse or your life partner. And that's really important. And then your community develops from there. And it's very, very important to have community and relationships. The fourth principle is sustainable wealth. One of the things that people really are challenged with is they don't know how to budget, they live beyond their means, and that can really be a setup for stress. And so I talk about the 3 core principles, or 3 core parts of being successful with a sustainable plan and being successful from finances and taking care of that.
No get-rich-quick schemes.
Absolutely. It's the turtle, right, and the hare who ran the race, and I talk about that in my book, and slow and steady, absolutely. The 5th principle is spiritual core, and that's taking care of yourself, but also having a greater belief. It doesn't matter what your religion is or what your belief is, just having a greater belief and really, because where do you go when you need hope? Where do you go when things aren't going well? And so spiritual core is very, very important. The 6th principle is healthy living. And as a physician, people probably would think that I'm going to talk about calorie counts and things like that, and I don't. I think that there's 4 core things for healthy living, which is drinking a lot of water, exercising, eating right, and staying fit. So we talk about that. And then the 7th principle is called benevolence, the gift of giving. And we know how important it is to give back.
Of course, and it always makes you feel good, too.
Absolutely, absolutely.
We were talking a little bit, though, before about the significance of the color of the cover here, yellow. Tell us about that really quickly.
Yeah. Really quickly, so when I was about 7 years old, I used to walk to school. My elementary school was maybe about a half mile to a mile away from my home. And one rainy day, I grabbed my windbreaker to run out, and my mom challenged me, and she said, oh, where are you going? And I said, I'm going to school, of course. And she said, you can't go in that windbreaker. And she went into this little closet and she took out, everybody knows about those yellow raincoats with the yellow hat and the black galoshes. And she said, you're going to wear this and stay dry. And I told my mom that I can't do that. And she said, why? And I said, because I don't want to get beat up at school for wearing that. And she knelt down and she looked in my eyes and she said, Gary, you be a leader, not a follower. And I wore that yellow raincoat and had some challenges with that, but it did make me a leader. I realized yellow became my favorite color, and that's why the cover is yellow. And again, like I said, rain became liquid sunshine to me.
Absolutely love that. And before we get to where we can get your book, what is the biggest takeaway that you want your readers to get
So,
from this?
the reason for me doing this is I want to help more. I mean, it worked for me. I created these 7 principles many, many years ago before my commencement address. I did it because I needed something tangible that I can use to catapult me in continued success, that I wouldn't give up, that failure was okay, and that failure actually you can learn from that and you can move. And many people exhibit those kind of things and share those mantras. But with that being said, my message is that it worked for me, it can work for other people. I wanted to get the book in more people's hands because I want to help people. This is really the essence of why we're here. It's also part of spiritual core. It's part of benevolence and the art of giving is we pass it on, and it's the butterfly effect. If one butterfly flaps their wings, you can have a tornado somewhere. We want to go ahead and pass it on. We want more people to be successful, and the success of each individual is the success of our society, our communities, and our world, and that's why the book is out there.
And success can mean many different things.
Absolutely.
So don't just think that, my dream job, that's when I'm successful. No, taking that class to get to that. You're successful because there's many different things. So don't be hard on yourself if you haven't reached your goal yet. Okay, where can people find your book then?
You can find it everywhere. It's online. If you just go and you put Ordinary to Extraordinary Gary Josephson, it's in Target, Walmart, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, on and on and on. I've been so blessed that it's really taken traction. People that have read the book I've been humbled, to be honest with you, because I think I'm a good writer. I don't think I'm a great writer, but I've been humbled because all these people have come back and said they really loved it and they think it's really helpful. It's a quick, easy read, and I did that on purpose. I know people are short on time and on the go, and so you can read the book in 2 hours and really get the core. And if you want more information after, you can go ahead and search on the internet, or you can go on my website. It's called ODE for Life, or odeforlife.com. And what my wife and I are doing is we're putting blogs on the website that exhibit some of the principles. We have something called Facts, which is a fun fact about the fun fact, the conclusion from an article that we get, and then the take-home message. And then we actually post the article on there if someone wants to learn more. And so we're starting to do that. We only have a few on right now, but we're doing that because we enjoy reading. We enjoy sharing this knowledge because it's very, very important. My wife's a physician as well.
Oh,
and
wonderful.
2 of us have a passion to help people.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It is going to be a quick read, right? Less than 200 pages. So thank you again, and good luck with all your success.
Well, thank you, Jordan, for you, and thank you for the staff. And I'm so blessed and thankful. I'm very grateful.
Wonderful. And if you'd like to see this segment again, just head to our website, and that's firstcoastliving.net.